Greetings from southern Mississippi. Today I'm in Gulfport at the Centennial Park Hotel and Resort. And this is known as the crown jewel of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. This place is really interesting and so unique. As many of you know, I have had the opportunity to travel around the world many times, and I've never seen anything quite like it. So let me just tell you a little bit about the background and history. Back in 1917, they were using this area for this huge Mississippi State Centennial celebration. Of course, celebrating 100 years for Mississippi becoming a state. People had worked on it, and they were so excited, and it never happened. I can't imagine how disappointing. But the reason is because World War I started. Of course, we know that's 1917. Well, fast forward to 1923. That's when they realized they had a big need for a VA medical center and hospital, and they used this area, which is 50 acres, to build multiple buildings that formed a campus, and they're all in this beautiful Spanish colonial revival style. And it is so peaceful here, I can't tell you. Like I said, it's 50 acres, it's very park-like, and it has just these massive old live oak trees everywhere. So it's really pretty. Unfortunately, in 2005, that devastating Hurricane Katrina hit, and it just devastated this, as it did so many areas along the Mississippi Gulf Coast and other areas of the coastline. They lost about 2/3 of the buildings here. They were just leveled, completely demolished, but many of the main core buildings were still intact, even though they were in terrible disrepair. And it was just a really sad situation. I think people just didn't know what to do with this area for the longest time. But what gave them a lot of hope is that the Centennial Plaza actually was awarded to be on the National Register of Historic Places. And that gave them hope and a vision. So Gulfport Mayor Billy Hughes, and then Governor, the state of Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, and many other people came up with a vision to make this into a resort. And it was no easy task, as you can imagine. It was a $100 million renovation. And let me tell you, they did a beautiful job. So many of these buildings are just identical to the way they were when they were built back in 1923. So now, today, you have 2 hotels in these large buildings over here. That's the Oasis Hotel. Back behind me is the boutique hotel and wine bar called the Grand Centennial Hotel. And over here you have the old nurses' dormitory that is now the great Blue Marlin restaurant. There's also a very quaint chapel that's just beautiful and is perfect venue for weddings and events. I actually got to see one last night, so pretty. And then I thought this was genius. They came up with this massive, wonderful water park for hotel guests. And it is a huge pool with a swim-up bar. It also has 950 feet of this lazy river. And if you're tired of floating around, well, you have a choice of 10 different water slides. So it is a happening place and a lot of fun. So I'm standing right now in the courtyard. This is the central focal point of the resort, and this is a Spanish-style fountain behind me. But it's not just any ordinary fountain. It is called the Centennial Dancing Fountain because at night it starts dancing. They turn on the music, and with the beat and rhythm of the music, the water starts dancing, and then it's also a light show. So it's fun to just come out, enjoy a nice Gulf breeze, and watch the water fountain. So it's scary to think about how close this place came to being lost forever. But again, with the efforts and dedication and hard work of people that love this area so much, it is now thriving and flourishing. And I am sure that Centennial Plaza Resort has a very bright future. Just another travel tidbit from Travel with Terri. So right on the other side of the fountain, that big building, is the Grand Centennial Hotel. That's the boutique hotel and also the wine bar. In the far distance there, those are the Oasis hotels. There's two of those, and there's also an Oasis grill inside of one of those buildings. You can't see it, but on the other side of the Oasis Hotel is that huge water park. You can look at my pictures later if you want to know more. And this is the beautiful chapel I spoke of, and it is just beautiful on the inside. Great place for events and weddings. And then to my far left, that's the old nurses' dormitory, which is where the Blue Marlin restaurant is now. And then you see the grand entrance, and of course you can see the beach is just right there, and the Gulf of Mexico. So just a hop and a skip to enjoy the beach and this beautiful Centennial Plaza Resort.